Yesterday, I made a post on the After Prison Facebook page about a story I ran across that garnered a lot of attention involving a college girl who was arrested back in September of 2022 for public intoxication. And what would follow from that arrest would probably end up being one of the most traumatic, if not the most traumatic experiences of this young woman's life. But fear not, she would end up getting paid millions because of this situation, which a lot of people posed comments saying that's nothing new. And where are my millions? Because I've been through something similar when I was incarcerated. This story comes from Oklahoma involving this former Oklahoma State University woman, 26-year-old Claire Hosterman. And I'm not sure what led up to the initial police interaction she would have, but from whatever it stemmed from, it would next turn into a verbal altercation between her and the police, which would ultimately lead to her getting slammed onto the ground, placed in handcuffs, and then be taken to the Stillwater City Jail, where it appears that verbal altercation between her and officers would continue and only end up getting so much worse for this young woman. And as a seasoned ex-con, like I am, and many of you out there are, you tend to know when it's probably a good idea to keep your mouth shut before things get a hell of a lot worse for you. I mean, how much more worse could they get for you? You're already being locked up, but this young girl was drunk. She wasn't in her right frame of mind to know what she was really doing, but boy, would she find out and probably be made to sober up real quick. As that verbal altercation between her and officers would continue at the jail, she was probably cursing them up and down. They ended up putting this young lady in a cell where these officers would make a grave mistake. Because while in this cell, they attempted to strip search this woman. And also, it appears they decided to just go ahead and keep her naked for her own protection, fearing that she might be a threat to herself. Folks, we've all been in the turtle suit, the 24-hour surveillance cell. We know what it's like when they think you're going to hurt yourself. It's cold, you're shriveled up, and there ain't nothing for you to keep warm with. It is a miserable experience when a facility thinks that you pose a danger to yourself. But again, these officers in question at this jail would make a grave mistake because while strip searching this young woman, there would be male officers present in the cell. And if a picture is worth 1,000 words, kind of looks like these guys might have been enjoying the situation. A little bit of a sightseeing expedition. Maybe a couple of free peeks. A little peep show. Maybe all of this happened so fast that the officers didn't even really realize how big of a problem this was. Oh shit, that young girl naked, and I'm in the cell and I'm a dude. I ain't supposed to be here. Knowing full good and well, all of this would end up being captured on body cam footage. We're going to look at that body cam footage in this video, but before we do so, let me share with you this story that I ran across in relation to this story, where this young girl ended up getting paid millions of dollars because of this grave mistake these officers made. I should stop calling it a grave mistake. Nobody died here except the taxpayers' pockets, who probably are going to have to fork out these millions. Where does those millions of dollars from a lawsuit against a law enforcement agency come from anyways? An insurance company? Maybe. A former Oklahoma State University student was strip searched at the Stillwater jail has accepted a $2.55 million settlement to end her federal civil rights lawsuit over the incident. Shorty got $2.5 million for this. Did they take the taxes out right then and there? I mean, this was like a lottery winning. Claire Hosterman was stripped in a holding cell after Stillwater police officers arrested her for public intoxication around 2 a.m. on September the 22nd, 2022. She was left naked for more than an hour. I don't really see what the big deal is about that. I mean, I've been in one of those cells before because I had a scorned ex-girlfriend call the jail after leaving me. I was only 18 years old. Not only did she break my heart, I was bawling on the phone. I'll never forget it. Why are you leaving me? I thought we was... My God, what a Freedom of Information Act would be to get those phone records. Could you imagine us doing reaction videos to my old jail phone calls? Hey, girl. Yeah, you know we gon' probably would be horrendous. But yeah, after this girl broke my heart, she then called the facility and told them I was going to off myself. So off goes Joe. When them guards come, Guerrero, B&B. Shit, I thought I made bond. I didn't even have a bond. Them guards came and told me to pack my shit up. I just knew I was going home. I was young. You got to keep in mind, I'd barely been getting locked up at this point, so I figured some kind of an audible had been called. Maybe that girl, some kind of a way, after she broke my heart, maybe this was all a ploy. Maybe really this was some big surprise party. She got me a paid lawyer. That paid lawyer did some work that I didn't know about. The charges got dropped. I think I was locked up for a strong-armed robbery at that point as well, too. So that charge was not going to be dropped. Yeah, they took me down to the naked cell. That was a fun time. Counselor down there, she was bad AF. Young girl, too. Trying to come talk to me about why I want to hurt myself. I'm trying to be Rico Suave. Hey, girl, you come here often? Shit, can I get a pair of drawers at least? This is quite an embarrassing situation. Do I look like I'm going to hurt myself? As if that wasn't traumatic enough for me. Do you know? Oh, my God, to only further complicate matters, they were doing Scared Straight at the jail, too. Not the TV show, but the program, where they were bringing in the young little preteen kids. Do you know I had all these little preteen kids running up to my cell, looking at my naked body up in there and talking shit to me? Look at them. Look at, hey, man, where your clothes at, boy? Oh, they thought you was going to harm yourself. Shit, you want to talk about somebody who should have got a lawsuit? I mean, that shit effed me up for life. This chick was locked in a cell for just an hour naked. Would you spend an hour naked in a cell for $2.5 million? Dog, you could beat me up in a cell naked for an hour for $2.5 million. And again, I had shared this story on the After Prison Facebook page, and the story got a lot of attention, probably because of the screen grabs that I had that probably had some dudes lusting. There's this fetish, I know that there is, that dudes kind of lust over chicks in bondage or cuffs or in inopportune situations like what this young woman went through. And again, we're going to look at all that body cam footage in just a moment. Her attorney described what happened to Hosterman as a nightmare and said it happened to others. Well, if it has, where is that class action lawsuit, that tort case? Because if it has, shouldn't they be getting paid as well too, whoever they are, who this has happened to as well? She was subject to an unimaginable invasion of personal rights at the highest magnitude. And respectfully, she was. If you've got guys in the cell while you're being strip searched, hogtied, manhandled, knees in the back of the knees, and some more shit, yeah, you can't go doing that. This is abuse. Hosterman screamed as two female detention officers and a male detention officer removed her clothes. Shit, I'm getting a little brick reading this. This shit sounds like an erotic novel. As officers removed her clothes, shoes, and jewelry while she was held face down on a bench in a holding cell, according to video evidence in the case. She was at first still handcuffed behind her back. Damn, man, they thought she was a murderer. The chick ain't have nothing but a drunken public charge. You didn't give me any chance to cooperate, she said, crying. Well, I'd like to beg to differ in that. That probably goes all the way back to the street interview that the police were doing with her, where that verbal altercation began at. You had all the right in the world to begin cooperating back then. But no. Please don't take my clothes off. Please, please, no. You had no reason to arrest me. Yeah, I can see some dudes probably edging to this type of shit right here. The incident lasted nearly 8 minutes. In the cell were two male police officers, according to the evidence. And the evidence is overwhelming. We've got the body cam footage. Over the last 2 minutes, one of the male police officers held Hosterman's legs. No, she wailed. This is assault. Hosterman at the time was an OSU journalism student. Oh, my God. An Oklahoma State University journalism student. She graduated in December of 2022. She sued the city of Stillwater in Oklahoma City federal court in 2024. It is understood and agreed that this settlement is the compromise of a disputed claim and that the payment made is not to be construed as an admission of liability. Well, then what the hell is it if it's not an admission of liability? The settlement agreement states, you know what's interesting about this case? Most cases where there's a lawsuit against a police department usually end up with an NDA and we never know what those amounts are. It's interesting that in this case, the dollar amount is actually known. Is it enough? Did she deserve more, or is it too much? Because it gets a little more interesting. In a deposition, the police chief said, I think that they followed policy and procedure. What? Buddy, it is Rule 101 of police searches. If you're going to search a female, you need a female officer. You the police chief, you should know this. And don't even get me started. You had a strip search. What y'all be doing in backwoods Oklahoma, man? And yes, we could use that video as a training tool. Now, you see what he did right here. That man was in the cell with that female and those female officers. And what was taking place? Cadets, what was taking place? Well, nobody knows. You're hired. Hosterman, 26 now, was never told why she was being searched or how she could avoid it, her attorney says. You're dead to rights. With the guy in the cell, you were dead to rights anyways. So real quick, this is that interesting part that I wanted to mention. She was charged in 2022 with 1 felony count, assault and battery on a correctional officer. She was also charged with 2 misdemeanor counts, resisting arrest and public intoxication. Prosecutors dropped the felony count in 2025, probably hoping to try to work around this lawsuit. But she pled guilty to the 2 misdemeanors and was put on probation. See, being found guilty of anything, in my opinion, would nullify the lawsuit. But in her case, it didn't. In the civil case, the city paid $1,675,000 of the settlement, which could result in a personal property tax increase. The city's insurer paid $875,000. How absolutely insane is that? Can you imagine your personal property tax going up because of a freaking civil lawsuit? My personal property tax just went up in my city. I live in the worst city in the state of Virginia. And guess what? Because of that, my mortgage now goes up. How freaking ridiculous is that? Folks, what do you say we go ahead and watch this video together, though?
A former OSU student has accepted a $2.5 million settlement and a lawsuit against the city of Stillwater for an alleged unlawful strip search.
She doesn't look too drunk.
In September 2022, Claire Hosterman, a senior at OSU at the time,
was mouthing off to them authorities, though.
By Stillwater PD. In body cam footage provided to the Oklahoman, Hosterman can be seen speaking with police officers until an altercation ensues and she is forced to the ground and handcuffed.
Yeah, they just wanted to put their hands on that young girl. That's what this was.
Lay on your stomach. What have I done?
What have I done?
Other hand. Give me the other hand.
Oh, man, this is horrible. What are we doing this for?
To the Stillwater Municipal Jail. When inside, they inform Hosterman that they need to conduct a search while she questions what she was arrested for.
Back that up a couple of frames real quick, Steve. Right here, I guess we can go right here. It looks like she is probably giving them the absolute frickin' business. F you, officer.
They inform Hosterman that they need to conduct a search while she questions what she was arrested for.
Maybe she ain't cursing.
Handcuffs behind her back.
Here's where it's going to get gritty, folks. Brace yourself.
There, 2 female detention officers and a male detention officer begin removing her clothing.
What is this guy doing in the cell? Okay, we've got this guy just standing back. He's getting the items from her, her jewelry, probably her clothes. He probably had her drawers in his hand. Oh, my God. And look at this. We've got some cakes right here. This is 2 female officers. Shorty is face down on a concrete bunk. And we've got this male officer, this goober right here. He's also conducting this strip search, holding the ankles down. Oh, God, loving it probably. Yeah, this is where y'all messed up big time, okay?
Shoes, and jewelry as Hosterman loudly sobs.
There's no proof that I was intoxicated.
No proof she was intoxicated. Did we even give her a breathalyzer? A sobriety test?
This is all just assumption.
2 male police officers stand nearby with others in the hallway.
Look at him looking.
Doorway. One of the officers standing by aids in the search and
look at that young thing laying there, butt ball naked.
A former OSU student has accepted a $2.5 million.
Yeah, right here, Steve. Stop it right there real quick. Okay, male officer right here, I'm assuming. From the last video, we saw the 2 female officers that were on the top of the body. He's down by the feet, but he probably got a foot fetish and got a knee on the back of the foot as well, too. You know that shit gotta hurt. Buddy probably weighed damn near 300 pounds.
No!
Mm.
No!
Wow.
After the nearly 8-minute-long strip search, officers leave Hosterman in the holding cell lying face down and naked as she cries.
Look, there's a sergeant right there, or a lieutenant. Back that up a couple of frames, Steve. Right there. We see the bars on his arm right there. Buddy should have freaking known better. Okay?
Hosterman sued over the incident in Oklahoma City federal court in 2024. The case was settled this year without an admission of wrongdoing by the city.
Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, man, you can't go doing that. No matter how you feel about the situation, what your experience in the turtle suit and the surveillance butt-ball naked cell has been like, maybe it ain't been nothing like what that young woman endured, and for what, too. She was a student of journalism, okay? So she definitely was a smart young woman, and she was raising some valid points while being hog-tied, butt-ball naked on that concrete freaking bunk. She was never even given a breathalyzer. Never. Maybe they tried to and she refused, and that's why they took her down. All of it being just assumption that she was drunk. Man, you should have been able to get off on the public intoxication situation, but if you refuse the breathalyzer, is that automatically an admission of guilt? Somebody let me know if you know better in regards to that. Hey, look, I just wanted to share this story with you because we've all been through it, but ain't none of us got $2.5 million for going through it ourselves. Crazy. Why do you think this situation played out? Is it justified? Should the guys have been in there? Were they dead wrong for being in there? And they definitely should have known better, right? That's my personal opinion on the situation. Wanted to share this story with you. If you got bricked while listening to this, you're a horrible type of person. Let me know what you think in relation to this. Hey, look, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did so, please leave a like and a comment on this, letting me know exactly what you think. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day. Peace!